When you hit rock bottom, when you finally feel the ground, and life just doesn't seem the same. And if you kind of get into that phase of like, woe is me? Why me? Why is this happening to me? I have to ask you, gentlemen, what do you do when you hit rock bottom, and where do you go next?
When when you ultimately hit rock bottom, you really want to keep not like this overly positive mentality, but like just enough to keep you afloat where everything that is bad that's happened to you is kind of in the back of your mind and not the forefront. So you just need to focus on the things that you really enjoy doing. And if you don't really know what that is, you just kind of have to put yourself out there, out into the world. And also, like relating to Brandon's story, like how he didn't want to talk to anybody or, just reach out. He was missing that kind of like key factor that you need to surround yourself with positivity, whether that's you seeing a therapist or if it's you talking to a good friend or cutting off that bad friend. It's just really all about your surroundings and also how much you put out there.
And when you honestly reach that floor, I personally believe that like your eyes open. Like you finally can see a lot of things that you weren't paying attention to when you were at your top. You kind of see different things in other people, and for me, I I'm really difficult when it comes to like friendships and ending friendships and seeing, just because like I've had a lot of bad friendships in my period of life where I've learned a lot, and when I've hit rock bottom before and I'm in that moment, I've honestly really enjoyed it because it opened my eyes to see who's got your back, who's gonna pick you up, who's there when the sky is falling. Like those those are things that you need to understand about resiliency. It's a learning experience. This whole creative thought of bouncing back, not only should it be a learning experience, but it should honestly give you some like a new start. It's like kind of like a restart to like, okay, what can I do now so I don't fall off the cliff again? Or who do I need to hang out with? Who do I need to cut out my life with? Like you said, Cheyenne, it's really important. What would you do?
I would agree with you and call it like it is a serious mindset shift, especially the harder you fall, the more the more your mindset shifts, and it's very very difficult in most cases. For me, like I like to kind of think about it on Cheyenne's point, kind of like a cut. You know, like you cut your arm, it's bad. Do you fix it? No, you just put a Band-Aid on it. And, that could be drugs or alcohol, any type of stimulation to get you to stop thinking about your problems, right? It gets worse, it gets infected, and you grow more habits or you grow more bodily problems, right? But when you focus on the positives and even the fact that you're able to then turn these negatives into positives in some sense, on top of finding more positive things to do, that just further, actually cleans that cut. You clean it. It's painful. You sew it up. That's painful. But eventually, you are fully healed and you are better than you were before. And that is the entire idea of a bounce back. And on top of that mindset shift, going along the lines of what you were saying, Sina, how I really think about it is not only are you getting better habits, but you are in that process of learning how to not fall into them again. And that further makes you stronger. And that's why the mindset shift is so important and so hard to go through. But it is something that will happen and you will go through it, but it will make you better of a person.
Let me give another example. I there was a friend of mine, when they hit rock bottom and they felt the ground, they looked themselves in the mirror and they didn't like what they were seeing, because when they were on that incline of just life is great and everything, they realized that during the incline they picked up bad habits, eating a lot, not focusing on diet, not going to the gym. And it was crazy because what I saw was when they hit rock bottom and when they started inclining again was when they went to the gym and they lost so much weight that they were a completely different person. And that's crazy because if they would have never hit that bottom ground, they would have never looked in the mirror to fix the problem that they didn't see when they were on the incline. So again, I think something that we're just trying to get in your head as a viewer and listener is that don't look at at don't look at the fall and the hit and the ground and feeling the ground as a bad thing. Look at it more as something that you could possibly change about yourself, change who you're hanging out with, change what you're doing, or learning something new that you never thought that you would want to pick up. Who knows? What about that instrument that you probably put down a long time ago that you haven't picked up since? What about that friend who you haven't contacted in a really long time? Sometimes we need these little things that we kind of put aside for other reasons that occurred in life that we can easily pick up again and find that sense of feeling again of, wow, this was something I actually really, really enjoyed, right? Like, Brandon, was there anything that you picked up during your bounce back after the whole knee problems and anything was, or was there anybody who helped you and picked you up, and what did they do to pick you up?
Yeah, with that, actually, I reached out to a friend. I have a friend in Iowa. Usually I talk to him time to time, met him through the Xbox. But basically, like, during my moment when I was going through that, like, cause we will game here and there, like when I was in college and all that. So then, like, we're in the party. Like, I asked him, like, because he could always tell, like, like whenever like I'm not me, you know what I'm saying. So then, like, he asked me, like, hey man, like, what's going on? Like, why do you feel like you're not there? And I just told him basically, I'm just going through a rough time right now. Like kind of like I explained earlier, it's going through a bad time. Like I want to get back out there, all this and that. And so basically, he was like, he just told me, he said, just go back to your foundations, like what basically makes you and who you are as a person. Like, yes, you are down at the moment, but not it would not define you as a person of who you are because in the end, kind of like what all you guys said, like with the resilience, like everybody will work hard. If you don't not want to be there, you will work hard enough regardless to get yourself out of there because it sucks being down there. And the people who have ever been through moments like that or just anything in general that puts you at rock bottom, it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling to be there. And we all don't want to be there and we all want to get out. So we will do anything within our willpower to get back to the top or at least feel at homeostasis with ourselves again.